Yeah, we're live now. We're actually live. Now I've wasted all my energy searching for free assets and free games. I'm gonna be, not looking forward to this. But I had a brainwave. At work. I didn't write anything down. I meant to. I mean, I was going to. I got my tablet out of the tablet sachet that I bought. I put it on the table and it just had connect to power logo on the front screen. I was just like, fuck off. Could you not give me 5 minutes of battery? In theory, I could have connected my phone to it and charged it off the phone battery, but can't need my phone as well. I didn't want to write. I wanted to write with a pen and a piece of paper. I didn't really want to use my phone, so I didn't use my phone. So I didn't write anything down, but I remembered it, and I actually have to this day remembered it. Don't worry, everything is gonna be okay. What's not gonna be okay is the fact that I have not selected the default level to be the combat level ever. It should be, because it's what we're working on right now, but so I have a question for any game devs in chat. How bad is it going to be? Do I need to instance? Do I need to instance AI characters meshes? Second thing, am I going to be able to instance AI characters meshes if they all have fairly unique looks? Thirdly, is it worth instancing AI characters meshes when most of the time they're going to be occluded and there's only going to be 1 or 2 AIs on screen at any one time that need to be rendered? Fourthly, is the Unreal Engine smart enough to occlude the meshes and actually not load them into memory if they're not going to be rendered anytime soon? Fifthly, I need to stop worrying about this because I'm doing UI right now. And UI needs to get done because I hate it. Did I seriously just overwrite it? I did. Let's open it up. Let's have a cheeky peeky. Yeah. Also, it's funny. It's funny to me. It's funny to me. It's funny to me that there is no there is no do not clip. So if the parent widget clips to bounds, then all the children will clip to bounds. It's messed up. Anyway, actually, there's just something else we need to do. Which I should be able to do fairly easily. Oh, I need an overlay. Oh god. Whew. Uh, right, that's over the top, right? Okay, so I'm gonna do this real quick. Material M fader. That's new. Do we have a new? No. I mean, kind of, but also no. That is not fast. That is lagging everything. Sorry, everybody. I've lagged everything. Anyway, M fader is going to be a user interface. It's going to be translucent. And then we need linear gradient. Texture coordinate in there. I think we're using the V. I don't know why it's going so slowly. This is going to be a scale, UV, and offset UV. So a pen vector, red green, that's a vector 2. Why is it so slow? Oh my goodness gracious me. Unreal Engine, please do not be slow. The whole PC is slowed down by this. I think it's calmed down now. Oh, poopy, right? Yeah, this is. top. What? Scale UV offset UV. So the something shader math something. I think it's the V gradient that we add. Add those together and then we'll minus saturate. Have I done it wrong? That's right. Oh, yeah, of course. Default value of 1 in all of these. Otherwise, we won't have any fucking gradients. It's interesting how we have... Interesting. I think I know the problem, but I don't know how to fix it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We need to add a power node, I think. So let me get paint. On a graph of fucking nice graph, bro. On a graph of do not grab it. On a graph of x equals y, right? We have that. And then we have we actually want x equals y squared, or y equals x squared, sorry. We have y equals x. So we need to square it before we add an offset. I think that's all we need to do. Because we have a linear gradient, right? When we actually wanted a quadratic gradient. Is there a quadratic gradient? No. diamond gradient, git gradient, map, row gradient, map, linear gradient, radial gradient, exponential. Ooh. Smooth curve. Value step. Takes a gradient. Is 1 over mass out of portion of the gradient basically input. Very interesting. Diamond gradient, map, stretch gradient, distant gradient field. No. So there is no exponential gradient, so we will need to add a power node here. And the exponent's just going to be 2 because we're vanilla. Yeah, baby. No, babe. No, baby, no. What the fuck? Because we're doing a power. We'll negate this. That's why it broke. Yeah, I got an A level in maths, right? Shut the fuck. I don't know what I'm doing. Doesn't take a math magician to work this one out. Also, please, can I be a math magician? Boom. That one works. Oh! It's just a look at it, really. Do I want multiplied by -1? Do I want 1 minus? 1 minus might work better, actually. And I can do that right here. Can I do that right here? We're gonna find out if my PC stops chugging. Please, PC, stop chugging. Is that it? Is that the one? See, I'm seeing the gradient has not flipped. The gradient has indeed flipped. Great. Cool. Yeah, this is looking a bit screwy. So we don't actually want to add them, do we? We want to replace that with a minimum? I think we want to replace that with a minimum. Because that will... I mean, it's okay, I guess. It's a lot more... It's a lot darker. It's... oh boy. So then if we set the V offset to like -50... 50, 20, 10, 0, 1, 0.5, 0.1, 0, 10, 5. Okay, yeah. We got control here. We got some nice control. See, the minimum is fine. We don't need the add anymore. We'll take the minimum. I don't think we really need a saturate anymore. But that's fine. I don't understand what's going on here. I mean, it's technically fine. It looks fine. It's what's meant to be coming out. It's full white. Stop bring view in. That goes to final color. And then that goes to opacity. I think they need to be the other way around. It's going to be really hard to see. Basically, it's going to look black when it works, right? The whole tile will just look black. Because you don't want the white to show through. Let's save it. Let's make a material instance of it. Let's lag my PC some more. And apply it to the box. So the offset is mostly because we're going to have a box and it's going to have a bleed area, an unsafe area to work in. You understand that? Oh, no, look, it's transparent then. Look, it's transparent. Create material instance. This is going to be mi theta. Very cool. We actually need to open that. I'm going to open it off screen. I'm going to open it over here. And then I'm going to tweak it while we're looking at the box, right? That will do nothing. Actually, No. Yes, but also no. That's alpha holdout. So that's the effect I want. But there's a lot of overspill. It's also shading in between the thingies. Yeah. I don't know, for UI that's quite heavy. 36 instructions. You could probably chop that down, because this is just a vertical thing. You're not using the U gradient, so we could probably just use something else. Probably don't need to get that. The saturate's probably, I mean, it's free on most GPUs, but still. Anyway, this is the code that we're using to use parameterized upper bound and lower bound fade to black. Using an does it tell us actually what the alpha holdout does? It just tells us alpha holdout, which is good. Chrome. Unreal Material blend mode. Yeah, thank you. Material blend nodes. Blend modes describe how the output material will blend over what is already being drawn in the background, but more technically allows you to control how the engine will combine the material source color, which is already in the frame buffer destination color, which is rendered in this material, is rendered in front of other pixels. To demonstrate this, we have set up a simple scene with two objects. We will look through at or through the first object and see how it affects the background as we change the blend modes. Opaque blend mode is the easiest, most straightforward. One we use most often. It shines the surface slightly that passes through, no penetrates. It's perfect for most plastics, metals, stones, a large percentage of other surface types. Yes, boom, masked. Masked blend mode is used to mask out pieces of the blend. Well done, yes. Using mask blend mode, you need to pay special attention to the opacity clip mask value property. What? Oh, that's helpful. When using blend mask mode, you need to pay special attention to the opacity clip value. Opacity mask clip value property has a 0 to 1 scalar value which controls what value the opacity mask texture will you use as a cutoff point beyond which all dark pixels will not render. There it is. Beautiful. I've never used that before, but that's great. Translucent. Translucent blend mode is used for objects that require some form of transparency. It makes things transparent. It looks great. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Yeah, very good. More important consideration when using translucent materials is that they do not currently support specularity. This means you will see no reflections on the surface. However, such reflections can be faked using a cube map for a network similar to this. Reflect, action, null, level, cube map, multiply, add, base color, preview. Ooh. Is that true? Because you can use forward subsurface volumetric shading to get reflections on it. This is Unreal Engine 4 as well, so lumen reflections won't take into account for this. Additive blend mode simply takes the pixel of material and adds them to the pixels of the background, very similar to linear dodge. Add blend mode in Photoshop. This means that there is no darkening, since all pixels are added together. Blacks will just render as transparent. This blend mode is useful for very special effects, such as fire, steam, or holograms. Yes. Very hologram, much fire, steam. Modulate. Modulate blend mode simply modulates the value of the material against all the pictures in the background. The behavior is very similar to multiply blend mode in Photoshop. Graph above. This is the modulate with shading. Okay. Modulate blend is best suited for certain particle effects, but care must be taken as it does not support lighting or separate translucency. Interesting. Oh. Oh. Oh, alpha? Alpha is just not explained. Oh, it's a UI only. Okay. In 4.23, Epic Games added a blend option in some materials user interface alpha holdout. According to release notes 5, it can be used to create a cutout effect. It's all of that space. You're trying to find a user interface creating and she works on things who has translucent material. How did you get that to work in forward render? It doesn't seem to do anything. Show me the GIF. Virtual texturing. HoloLens 2. Alpha holdout blend mode. Hello. The new material blend mode enables objects to hold out the alpha in the material, punching a hole through objects behind it. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Does anybody actually know what that means? I'm actually gonna try the other one. What was it? Modulate. Crank that thing. Crank that. Yeah, it's much nicer. It's a bit softer, isn't it? Don't know what we're gonna do with this though. I feel like if it has a border, it might look a lot better. I'm gonna worry about cursor memory later. It just came into my head that we might need cursor memory, like to remember where you were last pointing your finger to. Anyway, I delete this animation. Delete. we could have a little bezel just to hide the ends of this thing, I guess. That could actually look quite nice. Like an outer frame as well. Yeah, okay. I'm down. I'm down for that kind of stupid stuff. Um, and if we what was the material we had before? UIBKD. Which also itself has a fucking, yeah. It's okay. It's just a draft, right? So cool. Yeah, I just the 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 main problem is we gotta make an animation to move these all into the respective positions. So animation, rotate clockwise. Nah, this is gonna have to give these all, oops. So this is going to be VB current selection. This is going to be VB animate selection. So we have no, we can't rename them automatically. This is going to be HB CS 0, and then we have HB CS 1, HB CS 2, horizontal box current selection 3. That's what it stands for. 4, 5, and then horizontal box 0, 0. So the ones marked 0 and 0, 0 are off screen. And then we need HBAS. Yeah? Zero. So I don't know what I was thinking about the last time I tried this, but I've spent a long time actually thinking about it, and I think I know what I'm doing this time. It's a lot. It's quite hard to be in the moment of creation and also think about what you're doing. So this is minus 100, and this is minus 100, minus 100, not minus 11, minus 100. I will slap you, Unreal. That's unchanged. 2 is 110. As is 5. 5? No, 4. And 3 is 160. That looks right. Right, now we can make a rotation animation. Zero. What is the height of one of these little lads? How big are they? They have 10 padding. You're gonna have to get the size of this, right? So the size of this is... What are you in? Menu container. Size of you is... 3... No. Overlay? 600. Do I have to write this down? I think I do. Good job, I've got this beautiful titanium ballpoint pen with a beautiful Schmidt ink cartridge. If anyone needs a great daily writing ink cartridge, the Schmidt is fantastic. The ink is fantastic. The ball is fantastic. Cannot recommend a better ink cartridge for a ballpoint pen. That being said, what was I doing? 600. 600 divided by 7. We actually need to know the padding because we don't know the size of the borders because they're all automatically generated. So it's just 600 divided by 7 because there are 7 things in a 600 width item. So that's completely fine. Do I have to select all of them? Oh, he's not coming down, is he? Which means we need the calculadore. I hope that's calculated in Spanish. 600 divided by 7. It's irrational. God damn it. It's 85.714285714285712485712485712486. Is there a number close to 600 that's divisible by 7? $607. No, obviously not. 700. Let's just do this the easy way. 700 minus 70. No. No. 700 minus 70. 630. We can take 21 off that. Minus 21. 609. We can take 7 off that. 602. Oh, it's fate. 602 divided by 7. 86. So we just change the overlay to 602. And we get a beautiful round number for moving whole dudes around. And also we get to end the number in 2. 86. Thank you, calculator. Oh, we can't see it because we haven't got it selected. And it slides directly into position there. And you can barely even tell that they've changed size because we added 2 units and that's stretched across. What's 2 over 600? It's less than 1%. It's less than it's 1/3 of a percent, right? Is it 1/3 of a percent or 1/30th of a percent? It's 1/3 of. It's 1/3 of a percent. 0.3%. 0.33%. 0.3333333333333. Yeah, we need the things. So these are, so it's minus 100, 0, 110. Am I correct about this? Yeah, minus 100, 0, 110, 160, 110, 0, minus 100. And then it's 86 each time. So translation bop is going to be that's 0, 0. You right at the bottom. You don't really need to move, do you? Mind them. AS1, that's what we were looking for. Translation. Absolutely. The X is going to be 110. And the Y is going to be minus 86. It's going to be 86. So it comes to pass that actually a lot of this is going to be faking it, which is in fact the core precept of video game manufacture. If you did not notice already, nothing in a video game is real, especially the graphics. Oops, yeah, oops, I need to put it there, and then keyframe it. Translation. Oh god, it's happening. It is absolutely happening, and that scares me. Oh shit. Right, so basically it's so convoluted. What's gonna happen is Your menu options will be duplicated into two separate menus. When you scroll, it will switch to the menu that animates. It will play the animation. It will update the values in the menu that does not animate. It will flip back, and then it will update the menu that does animate by unanimating it and then updating all the... Anyway, it's... yeah, nightmare. Also, my ear just popped. Oh, boy. Yes, it's convoluted. Yes, it will look amazing when it's done. 110 goes to 0, 0 goes to 86. And finally, HBAS 5. Translation goes to minus 100. We do need to animate the bottom one. 86. We do need to animate the bottom one. So. Can you tell me how good does that look? Okay. Theoretically, we could use the same animation for both directions, but we'd be more convoluted on the data side, so I'm not going to do that. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not crazy. I mean, I am, but I mean, I'm not. I mean, it's game dev. Welcome to game dev. Everyone's crazy. You see a guy made a video game about being a mailman. How crazy is that? Yeah, so incidentally, the bottom, this one, we can actually remove this completely because it does not do anything. Delete. It doesn't move anywhere. It's off screen when the animation starts, and it's off screen when the animation finishes. In fact, it's directly there, which is fun. So good. And then we can duplicate that, and that's... I think I called my other rotation thing CCW, and that's starting to annoy me. I'm gonna have to rename that. But this, as it stands, is the same animation, but it actually needs to be the other way around. So AS0 can get bent, and we need AS00. HB AS00, and this can be deleted. Add a track. Transform. Translation. 25. So this is going to go to 0 minus 86. $110. 60? Or 0, actually. Nice animation, that's not what we're aiming for. Minus 100. Yes, minus 100. HBAS2. That is going to go to... That is going to go to 0. Minus 86. It's beautiful. Everybody say it's beautiful right now. It's fantastic. Ugh. Yeah. I hate UI. I mean, I hate AI as well, but I hate UI. Good God. Good. Who decided this was a fun part of game development? Huh? Who said to themselves, "Boy, I really want to make menus"? Nobody. Absolutely zero people on this planet has said that. I don't know what this is. Set offset. Targeted UMG magic menu. What the frick? Force layout prepass. No. Get desired size. Set offset. Disk diameter. Add +2 offset. Return. I was trying to do some real kooky stuff there. We don't need any of that. Force layout prepass. I mean, yeah, we can force a layout prepass. Why not? We might need it. Right. Event construct. So we need some things. We need... What do we need? We need to pass in the skills on event construct. So we need a variable which is going to be skills in a type st skills, and it's going to be an array, and it's going to be exposed on spawn, and it's going to be instance eligible, exposed on spawn. So when we construct this, we're going to get our skills in. I guess we'll write a function to process the skills. So actually we have done something wrong here. We have horizontal boxes with borders inside them. Can I render these as rounded box? Bro. Dude, I might do that. They're slightly too offset now, aren't they? Every second of my life there's a problem. I don't think we're gonna actually have a chance to render them as that, because there's gonna be a cap on the end. I will actually no, I will do that. I'll do that for now so we can see that they're switching. Yeah, so we can see that they're switching now because they have little rounded borders that we can actually visually see on the screen. That won't be final. Please remind me that that won't be final because they look like ass like this. They need to actually have stuff inside them. We have a border, which is not great because they're horizontal boxes already. Ideally, yeah. They wouldn't be. Ideally. They'd just be horizontal boxes. Can we wrap this with an overlay? And then we can put a horizontal box inside the overlay, and that horizontal box has got a spacer, a spacer, a spacer, text. Text. Right. Can we access text child widget in, I think we can. I think I did that in something. I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure I renamed text child widgets dynamically without them being variables. So what was that in? Hold up. That is in HBCS0. So we get HBCS0. Get child Get child. No, I want child index. Set text. Get child. Get child out. Get the accessible text from the underlying slate accessible widget. Set access. Nope, can't do it. Okay, so they have to be a variable. I can't remember where I did that now, but that is a massive pain in the ass. So, I mean, it's just something we're gonna have to do. So the first thing we have to do is delete them. And then we can paste I'm seeing a problem here. Text. Color and opacity. Hi, friend. Ah, these don't need to be auto. These need to be these don't need to be fill, they need to be auto. Yes. Yes. I think the offset relationship here is wrong. So yeah. Yeah. What about that? That still needs to come in a bit, apparently. This one. That'll do. That will do. And now about the... Oh no. Zero is still 0, but 110 is now 80, and 160 is now 110. Okay, so I've got to change all those in the animations now. Oops. It'd be really cool if I could parameterize these animations, but I'm small brain, and I don't think there's a way you can do that. And there probably is a way you can do that, isn't there? Probably just being omega small brain. Everything else stays the same, but boom. Oh boy. I didn't know you could do this. That's so satisfying. I realize I have made a mistake. Just let me delete that 1 second. Check this. If I can. They are variables. So then if I copy that overlay and I paste that there, they are variables. Okay. So what we're gonna do is delete them all. Okay, so we did those two. And we should delete those. That's nice. That the you can copy a variable slot. Of course, we're gonna have to rename them all, so that sucks. But nice, nice text blocks, bro. Come on, you couldn't have given me a little bit of flavor to them. Not even gonna tell me where they are. Jesus. Jesus. Oh no, Jesus. Good name, bro. This is boom. TB CS. Skill name. Zero. TB CS skill name 0. That's fine. And this is TB CS MP 0. We done that one. I totally forgot about this feature that exists. It's very tempting to give this one a special name, but we'll just remember that it's number 4. That's the special one. That is the current selection. Number 4 is the current active selected role. Lovely. Skill name 00 MP 00. So now I can go to my graph and I can see exactly what they are. TB AS skill name. Oops. Sure. TBCSMP ASMP. Oops. And also copy. TBS skill name. Really, doing this with like a bunch of child widgets might have been a bit easy. That's not right. Cool. There we go. How fucking dare you? Did you see that? It auto-saved, and instead of adding a 1 to the end, it highlighted the text and replaced it with a 1. That is betrayal on a Caesar-like scale. Et tu, Unreal. Et tu. We know we've done it right because it isn't giving us a red text bubble telling us that we already have something with that name, which means that we are in fact a machine. Data entry machine. Yeah. Oh yeah. Why can't we automate stuff like this? Why? Because get out of here, Windows. Why is it like Unreal's got like a whole slew. I just realized that I could have made these as widgets, and then there's a user created widget thing that you can just put in. Fuck. Just fuck. I could have just done that. Oh, I'm an idiot. Next time. We'll get them next time. Nice quiet time. Change in variable names, huh? Nice, simple, easy. Whew. It is kind of linear. It is kind of a linear looking. It looks like there's like a chevron shape being drawn with the thing. It's set to cubic. I don't know, it's fine. The default is cubic. I think the smoothing of this was a good thing. It doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. It looks. Do you know what it looks like? It reminds me of a slightly dated, a slightly dated, PS2 game with menus that have got like faux parallax mapping on them. Kind of like this. Kind of like there'd be like tiles that kind of float around and have a weird skew applied to them. I can't remember what game it was. I swear I've played it though. It had a real crazy menu, which had like flipping like a book into the screen or out of the screen depending on what you were doing. I can't remember what it was, but that kind of menu. And what does it look like? We just enable game mode. I mean, if I hadn't have sat here and created it myself, I wouldn't have ever believed that I'd be able to sit here and create it myself. Also, I'm seeing a problem. There's a lot of excess around the side there, and trimming that off is going to be a massive pain in the arse. Because there's an offset. There's padding applied. Well, the padding's in these though, so we can just change it there. That's fine. That's easy peasy. So it might be eventually that we merge the shader that we have for this with the shader that we will make for each of these tabs. So that the fade is only on these tabs. That would allow us to have a sticky outy, portiony, cutty outy thing. You know, where these all have little, little bloops. So these would be their own little tabs, and they'd hang out and they'd hang around instead of being on this block. You know, they'd not be on the block. That could be cool. Or it could be cool to have like an end cap and trim it off and have a nice background. Maybe an animated background, maybe an animated foreground, maybe an animated tab if they are selected. I don't know. In fact, border, hello border. I don't want to select any of that. Thank you for your attempt. I wanted to select one of these horizontal boxes, the border. Outline settings. Now we can outline them. Check it out. And we can have an outline brush for the selected one. In fact, if we just give this one an outline, right? Works for now. It works for now. You can change the corner radius. No, take me back. You can change the what? Oh, that's just for rounded box. It doesn't seem to. Ah, fixed radius. Ah. Right, you can control the roundedness of the box. That's cool. Nice. Cool. Yeah. All right, I guess we got to make the graph. So event construct. I would like another a variable as well, which is going to be there's a position, which is going to be an integer, a single integer. And we'll set that to 0 on event construct. And then I'm gonna make a function which is gonna be update current selection from skills, and this gets our skills, gets our cursor position, and then I don't know what we want to do. I mean, I know what we want to do, but I don't know what we want to do. So we have our cursor position, which is number 4. That's here. We have our skills, which is an array of the bleebles. I don't know why they represent an array like that. It's kind of weird. So we need to do 7. So, okay. B. We need a B. Length is greater than 0. Read the value of variable cursor position. First index is 0, last index is 6. Update current selection from skills. So this is going to be TBCS skill name. Oh, we can just select the poopy. Yeah, can I actually do this, and we make this promote to a variable array. This is array of CS skill names Let's get these organized so we have an array for each one. We have to mess around each time, promote to a variable. This is going to be AR, CS, MP values. Promote to variable. This is going to be AR. AS. Skill names. And one more. The final one. AS MP values. Actually, do we don't need to make them, do we? Because they're already here. They're going to be... AR, AS, MP, MP values. Yeah. We don't need to do this. This is silly. We can just make them a default value. But I've done it already. Collapse to a macro. Set text variable array. Ay. Come on, snake case. Where's your snake case for macros? You've got to have a style guide, even if it's a shit one. It's just a shit one. And then maybe we can add custom event, smell my arrays, and I use spaces, colon editor. An error occurred while streaming. This isn't good. This is not good. It's still recording. Could not access a specified channel or stream key. Please double check your stream key if it's correct. Maybe a problem connecting to the internet. Absolutely not. Absolutely out of here with that. Hey, I'm back. I'm back. Hey. Yeah. Can't kick me off the internet, you piece of shit. OBS, I will kill you. No, it's fine. OBS is a great platform. You should use it always. Combat Umg. I can't just drag it in. I figured there would be an easy way that I could just haha. Yeah, that's not what I wanted. It's fine. We'll just do them now. It's fine. CS Skillshare names. There are 6 elements. Index uno. No, apparently we do need to do that here. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? I'm shocked. I'm shook. But we got that. Yeah, update current selection from skills. Devril, what's poppin', my dude? What's poppin', your dude? What? Check it out. If you can tolerate the weird green highlight, this is what's poppin'. You get it? That's right. That is correct. Well, that's neat. You're under the impression you would limit the characters to 6 skills. No. Infinity skills there, bro. Infinity skills. 6 actions that they can take in combat. 6 different categories of action they can take in combat. 2 of which will have a skill menu. Maybe 3 of which will have a skill menu. Probably just 2. The spells and items. Obviously, spells will have MP values. Items will have how many items you have of that thing values. It's gonna be good. I didn't even bother hooking up the actual HP MP bars to the actual player characters. That was a mistake. I need to actually go back and refactor that, because now I know I have a thing that says don't refactor anything that works, Lamau, but it actually does not work, so it does actually need refactoring. Yeah, put that in the to-do list. I downloaded Notion. Isn't making skills a shitty job? Yeah, 112% shitty. It's not as shitty as making the skills UI, though, so, you know, it is what it is. But when you are a solo indie game dev, you are the CEO and you are also the janitor. Anyway, I was coding it. I was in the middle of coding it. And you rudely interrupted me. I'm kidding. You know I don't have a train of thought when I do this stuff. You know it, Deborah. How are you anyway? Decided for Notion. That's neat. You use it for everything these days. I didn't say I decided on Notion. I said I downloaded Notion. There's a big difference. I hate it, by the way, if it makes you feel any better. I hate Notion. I hate Trello as well. So, GG everybody. 0 winners. I like things about it more than I like Trello. Had a shit day at work, had to call your boss who's on vacation. Never do that. If your boss is on vacation, do not call them. Deborah, you are walking on thin ice there, buddy. You had no other way? Sad face? Oh, okay, well, if you had no other way, that's fine. I guess. I like this. I like the ability to make to-do charts with priorities and what they're doing, and I like being able to have views on these. I do not like making these. These are bad to make. They're hard to resize. Blah 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 blah. It's hard to use. It's hard to use, Deborah. I'm sorry, it's hard to use. Trello is at least easy to use, if not frustrating. This is hard to use. Nice. It offers a higher level of granularity of planning, but it is harder to use it. I don't know what to tell you. Also, it didn't let me import my Trello. Somebody mentioned that you could import your Trello. I logged into Trello. Trello has 2 features. Of course, it's easy to use. Trello has 1 feature. You can make tabs. Oh no, I guess it does have two features, because you can delete tabs. Actually, you can't delete tabs. You can archive tabs, and you can delete archive tabs. I hate that about Trello. Why is there no delete button? I don't care about archiving a tab. I'm never going to go into the archives. No one goes into the archives. Cursor position. It imported your Trello without issues, sad face. Good for you. Anyway, I hope your evening's better than your day. Do you want to see some shiny Pokemon cards to cheer you up? Do you want to see a giant Pikachu maybe? Do you even care about? Sorry to hear it didn't do it for me. Yeah, well, you know, I am the destroyer of worlds. Any technology that comes within an inch of me gets absolutely rectified. Tablet doesn't have good tracking. The webcam doesn't have a stable frame rate. The other webcam. You had a question about Pokemon cards. Go on, shoot your question about Pokemon cards, and I will ready the giant Pikachus. you're going to ask me why I collect them even if there's no inherent value to them, because they're just essentially pieces of cardboard and maybe foil. This is a giant Pikachu. And yes, this is my hand. It's actually huge. Isn't he nice? It's from the original, the quote-unquote original set, 58 of 102. Promo card that came with the binder. It's a binder for massive cards. And there's a Vivid Voltage Pikachu promo card, which I think came out 2 years ago. How important is the language of a card for the value? Very important. There's two languages which have any value at all, which is Japanese, the original printing of the cards, and English, which is the majority of the players of Pokemon card games. So if you have a Russian card or a French card or a Spanish card, the value is going to be less. No offense, but there's just fewer French, Spanish, German, Russian, Portuguese-speaking people on the planet than there are English and original manufactured Japanese cards. Because the Japanese aren't valued for the language they're written in, they're valued for two things. The original run of cards had a beautiful, beautiful card back. I don't have any to hand with me, but it has. So if I grab one of the Wizards of the Coast, the back of a Wizards of the Coast Pokemon card, it has a Pokemon ball on the back and it's got some weird whooshy 3D GFX stuff, and they've looked like this since the 90s. It's horrible. The Japanese ones have got a very dynamic looking bit of art on the background, but also they get some different promotional art cards. Those promotional art cards are worth a lot of money. Yeah, English language or Japanese language promotional cards. It's basically what you're looking for if you're going to get into collecting and trading and collecting Pokemon cards. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that foreign language or not English language cards, sorry, aren't valuable. There are definitely cards out there which are rare, that will fetch a price, but the maximum squeeze on the money, if you're in it for the money, is English, definitely. Because America, UK, a bunch of other places that speak English, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa. I wonder if you can actually get Pokemon cards in Afrikaans. Pikachu Afrikaans card. The YAG is correct. I cannot type. There are. I do not dare click that. Does not look like there are any Afrikaans. Yeah, there's the back of a Japanese. Illustrate. There's the back of the Japanese trading cards. It's so much cooler. It says Pocket Monsters in full English. Has the copyright 96. They're even older than the original set. These Japanese cards, gold borders and stuff. Some Pikachu set. Oh, that's from I had that game. Is it XY or Black White where there's the cosplaying Pikachu that you can get? Pretty cool. Anyway, this is a waste of my time. I am wasting my time. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Rowe. And I hope seeing the Pikachu fills you with the warmth and joy of seeing a Pikachu. Anyway, cursor position is going to be a reference to how deep we are into the array, and it's going to be default set to 0 anyway, so that's fine. The index and the length, we're going to have to do something about this. So this is going to be something -4 minus, yes, it's not a -4 node, thank God. Could you imagine if there was like a specific node for each number? Yeah. Modulo. So we get the index, we take 4 off it, and we modulo it by the length of skills in. Yes, it did. Good. So I have a French. Do you remember the original series of Pokemon? I believe somewhere deep inside the Chasmic Vault of the attic, I have a French copy of the original fighting deck with Machamp on the front. I remember specifically that his name in French is like Machoc Guigneur or something weird. That's a weird name in French. That's because I got him in Disneyland. Does that help? Just outside, we were I don't know why we were at Disneyland, but we ended up going to the jungle place. The jungle place. Rainforest Cafe? Is that what it was called? The Rainforest Cafe? So I haven't been to Disneyland that many times. Maybe 4 times in my entire life. But I swear half of those times I've ended up in the Rainforest Cafe. So it's got a good ambience. I like themed cafes, themed restaurants. They're like, it's a bit much when the staff are acting in as well, but like when if it's nice, it's nice, you know. How do I say that? If it's the level which I can tolerate at that exact moment, it's good. So it's index. Add the cursor position -4, which is the selected cursor position, moduloed by the skills in. I think that's the right mathematics to get to the right place. The only question I have is, modulo, is that going to work when we go into negative numbers? Should do, right? -6 modulo 5. What? No, modulo, you fucker. What are you doing? Oh god, I can't deal with this. I'm seeing spots in between all the block. -5 mod 6 is 1. Yes. Yes. I think, yeah. Get out of here. Get out before they get us. I think that works. So we take the index that we are in the loop between 0 and 6. We add our cursor position, which is where we are in this array, which is our starting location. So this will be 0. Cursor position is default to 0, so this will be 0 anyway. And then -4, because we want to select the thing that we are at the position of the index in. And -4 takes us... Oh, are we 4 in? No, not -4. Not -4 at all. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There are 4 before us. We are number 5, so we actually need -5. Because 0 needs to be populated. Right? 0 does need to be populated. And we will populate 0 right now. I want a reference actually. Okay, we can't have a reference apparently, so. Set text, 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 set text, text, in text, text target. Split! Name tech friendly. Set text, text to string, string text, to text string. Good God. MP cost. In text, text, int to text. Yeah, that's a beautifully gory little loop we got going on there. I think it works too. I think that's exactly what we want it to do. And then completed, it's going to be a return node. Add return node. You good with that? So there's clever things we can do about updating text, animating text, and not updating text, and updating the cursor position. So this is going to be very bad. Update current selection from skills. I'm going to duplicate this. This isn't what you meant to do in C++. Please forgive me, C++ gods, for I'm not making generic code. Oosh. Update. Black Void Titan raiding again. Good lord. Welcome everybody. Welcome raiders. Welcome Black Void Titan. How are you doing? What are you doing? What were you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? What are you doing? What were you doing? Raid, 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 raid. Raid. How you feeling? What were you streaming? Do you want to see a giant Pikachu? Update animated selection from skills. What are we working on today? Today we are working on UI. I hate doing UI, so you'll forgive me for being a little bit more grumpy than I am usually, but a little bit less grumpy than I am last week because I know what I'm actually doing this time. So we have an infinite scrolling menu that scrolls infinite, It has little shading areas on the top of the bottom to make sure you know that you've got a skill that's selected, and when it's finished animating, it will highlight the skill that you're actually going to use. Skidoo is basically, this is a rough draft right now, but it's a very, I don't want to say it's a very complicated system, because I get the feeling that a lot of game devs don't want to ever make a very complicated system, but it is inherently a very complicated system to make an infinite scrolling menu like this. Ah yes, the good old Unreal UI fun. Yes, the good old Unreal UI fun. I wish they had built-in stuff for fancier menus. You know what I mean? Not like, not anything crazy, but do you know how hard it was to build this? Oh my days. I have to audit each tab individually. You can't see it. I have to audit each tab individually to do this, right? Each one has to be animated separately from the last, and they're breaking all of the code rules. So like, you're meant to do the layout. You have boxes that you can do your layout in with offsets and stuff, but these are all in a vertical box, which is fine. One, to have them scroll out of the vertical box, right, and not persist, not be visible on the outside, they have to actually be contained in a canvas panel, which has an oversized overlay on the inside of it, which is just one thing, mind-boggling, right? And the second thing, because they're in a vertical box, their size and dimensions and offsets are all set and baked, and it sketches me out to animate them like this, because we're putting an offset into them basically, which is why I have widget switcher, which switches back to this view where everything is cemented, nailed down to the floor basically, and it's this view that that is going to show you that you're able to select stuff. So I guess that's fine. Anyway, what were you doing, Mr. Knight? I got to give you a shout out too. Anyone doesn't know Black Void Titan by this point, you're missing out on key software and game development. You entering Ludum Dare? Is it Ludum Dare or Ludum Dare? I could look it up. Still doing level generation stuff. You're onto the fun part now, building the rooms. See, yeah, I can spell. Ludum Dare. Ludum Dare. Classical Latin. To give a game. Also references LD Jam. Is a game jam competition. It's currently run by Mike Kasperzak, who has been part of the team since the beginning. Participants are required to create a video game that fits within a given theme in 2 or 3 days. Participants often release a time-lapse video of the development of the game. Let's see. I'm going to take a little few seconds to look through this. Was I saying something? Black Void Titan, if you don't know him, go follow him. Epic Unreal game developer. 2D side-scrolling, horror action platformer game. Very nice. Very nice. Check it out. Check it out. It's very nice. Ludum Dare has been going since April 2002. Which is, wow, I was barely alive April 2002. I was in year 8. And now you know exactly how old I am. I'm trying to think if I've ever heard of any of these games or developers. Sorry. Not a sausage of a clue, I'm afraid. No ratings. Not applicable. Damn, son. The not very golden age of piracy. No longer tracking the signups. Oh no. Oh, Jesus. Big jump there. 158 signups in 2007. 5,065 signups in 38. 10,000. 10,000 signups in Ludum Dare 46. Insane. Absolutely crazy. Maybe I'll do a Ludum Dare. Dare? What was the accent? I can't. It's been a long time since I've done Latin. I'm pretty sure it's an accented E. I'm trying to think if I know any words that end in E. Trexare, I guess. It's verb form, yeah. Definitely accented E in Latin. Definitely. 100%. 112%. Double confirmed. IGN, next game coming up. I don't know where I was going with that one, never mind. So yeah, I'm doing UI, and now I've derailed myself from doing UI. I kind of want to get a drink. Kind of want to get a cheeky. I think that 10,000 sign up was the first one during lockdown. Yes. No. Yes? Maybe. Every game dev and their mum just going, well, I've got 6 months to make a game. Update animated selection from skills. So we delete those, and we get the other ones. Skill names. And MP values. We can actually drop those as a function in, because we will need them. Update animation selection. Yeah. So we're going to start off invisible, I think. Hidden but occupies layout space. That's what I want. Set visibility. Visible. And the reason we're not doing collapsed is because I want to do some animation garbage with it. Is it cold or is it just me? Like, yeah, the box is throwing out some heat and it's just disappearing before it gets a chance to get into the room. I need to be close to my PC. Come here. Yesterday I was transcoding video, using it as a radiator. You'd be surprised at the heat that it throws out when it's transcoding video. I'd say I'd need a more efficient CPU, but then it wouldn't be a space heater, would it? Anyway, so this is fine. So it will be invisible until it's set up all of its stuff and updated the things for the first time. And then it will be visible, and it'll be great. These don't need to be variables. No, those don't need to be variables. Fader boy. Fader boy does not need to be a variable. Thank you. trying to think of anything else that doesn't need to be a variable. I think everything else does though. Image 24, they don't need to be variables. Menu container, I'm not sure that needs to be a variable. Anyway, we should probably just do some code. Increment cursor. I guess we could have increment decrement cursor. And then we can have an input boolean. No increment. And then we just throw a B. B. Throw a B in. And then we increment the cursor or we decrement the cursor, which is going to be skills in, get skills in, length, cursor position, get cursor position, cursor position. Oh, I have increment in range. This is add one to the specified value, modulate, and then set it. So that is the range, is the length. Handy that I made that, huh? And I have decrement in range. Subtract one from the specified value, modulate, and then set it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's all coming together. And that works for the modulo inherently, because modulating it by the max, by the length of the thing, will set it to 0. Because of course, if you are at position length, you are one past the end of the array, which is not a valid array index, but signify that you have reached the array to see. Nice. I'm happy with that. Increment, decrement cursor. It's really interesting, actually. I was playing Dragon Quest yesterday, as I do, and it was really interesting to me to see that the cursor memory isn't actually part of your save game. Cursor memory is part of the active game instance. However they handle their game instance in whatever engine that they're using to make Dragon Quest XI. So if you have cast a spell or used a skill, and you go to cast a spell or use a skill again, it will show you the last option that you selected, even if you have died and reloaded a save, which I think is crazy. Also, haven't tested that, but if you have used the skill from like endgame and then you reload a save when you're level 30, what's going to happen to the cursor memory? Because that seems like a bug that they probably didn't explore. Maybe I'll check that out next time I play Dragon Quest, which will be Sunday. Shameless plug. Add a return node. Good enough for me. So if we are increment, is that how you spell increment? Yag might be entirely correct about me. Increment. Yep. Nope. I stand by the fact that me typing Madagascar without an A was a typo and not a spelling mistake. Thank you. Thank you. And just to prove it, yeah, I can spell Madagascar completely fine. But I think it's even funnier that it will be spelled wrong. That should work, right? That should be fine. Event graph. We need to change the widget switcher's name, really. Apparently we can't change it there. Can we change it here? Apparently not. We gotta go to the designer to change the widget switcher's name. This is gonna be WS select or animate. So 0 will be select, animate will be 1. I hate that. When it doesn't register a right click. And you go for custom event and it gives you a comment instead. This is going to be rotate menu clockwise. So I don't know if we have a can input. I don't know if we need a can input. Because this will be handled by the UMG combat menu, which is gonna suck. We don't ever use that value. There is no point to that value. And I think we're going to have to change that, right? Yeah, we're gonna have to do some magic there, I'm afraid. Rotate menu clockwise is going to get set I want to set it, no. Set input mode, set active widget. Set active widget activates the widget at the specific index. 1. Play animation. Bind to on animation finished. You have to get the animation now. Get rotate clockwise. Animation. Animation. Custom event, finish, rotate clockwise, and this is going to increment, decrement cursor, and if we're going clockwise, it's an increment, I think. No. Yes? No. Yes? Yes. Increment, decrement cursor. Update current selection from skills. Update animated selection from skills. I think that's all we need to do, right? Rotate menu CW, finish rotate CW. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to the player controller. No, I'm not. Does anyone even have skills? Oh, Jesus. Does anyone even have skills? Let's just focus on the one character right now. Skills array. Man, I hate this. No, I don't want combat actor, you muppet. Skill handler. No, I swear to God. I swear to God. Oops. Okay, don't know what I just closed there, but it's gone. Whatever it was. Combat BP. Skill handler. We could technically have any skills that we want because it's going to read from an array. It kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that we have to activate all the skills manually, though. I'm going to have to figure out a way to not do that. So we have heal, skill heal, skill fireball, skill haste, and skill slow. I'm just going to give you all of those, okay? Yeah, I really need to change how skills work. Not right now, but let's copy these real quickly. Da 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 da. Scooby doo 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 doo. Class defaults. Skills. We got default skill name. We got the friendly name. Gonna eat, see you around. I'll see you, Devro. Have nice food, and I hope your evening again is nice. Hope you have a nice evening with no entanglements. Skill heal. Name friendly. Healing heal. Tech function skill heal. Targeting requirements. MP cost 8. I don't know. Friendly deployment combatant. Fireball. Skill fireball. Targeting requirements. Combatant. MP cost 10. Haste. Tech function skill. Haste. Targeting requirements. Friendly deployment combatant. MP cost 25. Goodness me. And another one. Default skill name. Slow. Skill function. Skill. Slow. MP cost 99. Targeting requirements. Combatant. Okay. Wait. Do we need a play? Do we need the play control? PC VGRPG combat. Is this where the magic happens? No. Call mouse event notify dispatcher. Place return. Menu selection. Menu selection. Menu selection. That should be in the combat menu. Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck? Oh, is it in? This is so fucking stupid. It's in here. Dummy skip. We don't want dummy skip. What we want to do is open the target, open the spells menu, right? So we need to create a widget. I don't want to do that here, but we're gonna have to. Oh god. That disc diameter, man. I don't even know what to do with you, buddy. Create UMG magic menu widget. This is gonna break the game, but we can just escape when it breaks. So that's fine. I say it's fine. It's not really fine, but Eleanor has skills, so this will do something. This will definitely populate. Where is it going to put it on screen? Interesting. Did not add it to the viewport. We will never speak of this. It's added it there, as you can see. Which is theoretically exactly where I told it to add it. It's fine, I guess. Has not updated the text. Can't help but notice has not updated the text. Interesting. No errors, which is nice. But interesting that event construct has not. Very interesting. So this is indicating to me possibly that we're not getting the skills from the right place. Possibly. What does it mean? Why wouldn't it get the right skills? You tell me. You tell me what it means. Ah, it's because it's Trish's turn. And I'm an idiot. Idiot. Now it's Eleanor's turn. Now this will work. There's Fireball. There's Fireball right there. Fireball is in. But Fireball is the only skill mentioned. There could be one above, I guess. There could theoretically be one above. Oh my god. Skill name. Oh, hello. That's interesting. So it failed a bunch of times. I wonder why. Index plus the cursor position. -5 modulo length of skills in. Should just work, buddy. Should just work. You know, I'm not. I want to be splitting hairs here, but should just work. Access none, trying to read property. Call func array, get item 1, node set text, update current selection from skills, function update current selection from skills. Yeah, but ow. How did it fail? Why did it fail? Ah! I'm using the wrong number for these. Oopsie. Yeah, this is meant to be the index. Okay, there's one thing. but it's struggling on the get, not the set. And the get should just work because there's a modulo to keep it in line. Why does that not work? It's not working again. You saw it. We all saw it. There we go. That works perfectly now. We got heal. Fuck off. Default skill name, default skill name, default skill name. Heal. That obviously does not work. Why is heal in there twice? Why do we only have default skill name? There was fireball last time. But that's... She has 4 skills. So there should be at least 2 on display. Because there's 1 off screen. Core func, access none, trying to get items, set text, text update animated. That's all on animated skills, which is weird. This is going to be a widget. A widget? Current type UMG combat menu. Oh, right. It's going to be a UMG magic menu object reference. No, input. Key. Right bracket, left bracket. Get rotate menu clockwise. Okay, let's see what's going on here. That's really weird. Left bracket, right? Oh! Default skill name. This is gonna be slow next, right? Okay, heal. Fireball. No. Haste. Fireball. Fireball. Haste. What the fuck? This is obviously wrong. Okay, we'll start here. Heal. Default. Default. Heal. Haste. Fireball. Fireball. Haste. Heal. Heal. Default. Default. Heal. When it's meant to be heal, haste, fireball, slow. Slow didn't even come up. Is slow even in the list? Yeah, it's right there, 99. No doubt we're going to have some errors. Oh boy. A lot of errors. This seems to be working fine though. The restore state and decrement cursor. Update current selection from skills. Actually, we should do that over here. We should do that here. Because it's gone, right? The second this happens, this happens. See if that fixes anything. Doubtless it will fix nothing. Because I think we've got a bit of a deeper issue going on. That still doesn't work for some strange reason. It worked. Like, that's the reason I stopped looking at it. It's because that one day it worked. Heal, fireball, haste, default, heal, fireball, haste, default, heal, fireball, haste, default. It's better. It doesn't lag. It doesn't have that little hitch where it has to recalculate everything because it's doing it in the background before the animation plays. Heal, fireball, haste. Oh, fireball, haste, default. Heal, fireball, haste, default. So we're getting a little bit closer. We're now at heal, fireball, haste, and then it skips slow for some reason. And it really does not enjoy doing the other list, which should be identical, and yet it's not. Yeah, stop. Don't even talk to me about that stuff. Take current selection from skills. By all rights, it should be fine. Oh, do you know what? Yeah, we didn't ever change this one. So that goes to there. That goes to there. Is it? Is it actually that we need to decrement it instead of incrementing it? I hope not. But it is a possibility. I mean, it's cogent now. It makes visual sense, but the actual process of implementing the data into the swatches is incorrect. You understand? You see this, and you understand that it does not work correctly? It's fine, it's fast. The code isn't bad, mostly. The code is a little bit bad. And we don't get any errors now, because we're actually accessing the right data, but it's not accessing the right data, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's meant to loop through. It's meant to loop through the skills in by the skills in. C++ modulo negative. If both operands are non-negative, then the remainder is non-negative. If not, the sign of the remainder is the implementation defined. B plus A modulo B modulo B. That's the one. I have to look this up every time. Engine. Non-standard macros, baby. Yep. I don't know what I'm going to call this. Modulo 2 performs logical modulo and not absolute C modulo. Smiley face. Compact node title is, what's the modulo? It's a percent. And then we'll have a smiley face. And then have another percent. In fact, it's a funny meme. It takes 2 integers and it spits out an integer. Value modulo salt. So let's look at that page again. It's B. A modulo B is B plus A modulo B modulo B. Oh, right, yeah, I remember. So it's B plus A modulo B modulo B. You can probably drag that out and make it look a little bit neater. No, what am I doing? What am I doing? So this is why it wasn't working, because the modulo function doesn't work through negative input values. Not naturally, not in C. So if we get our modulo 2, it's funny because it's a modulo plus plus. I'm getting real cranky about having to do this like 8 times. So I'm gonna take these. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add these little pins. Yeah, I'm gonna add these little pins. Yeah, and I'm gonna collapse to a function, which is update text in array. Update text in array with skills. Whatever. Return node. And now I have this. Now I have this. I can, in fact, simply replace the code in update current selection from skills. And I can do that with that node. Bop. Update text and array of skills. I think that's right. Input pin 1 is name and input pin 2 is MP. There you go. I crumbled under the pressure of iterative generic programming, and I have created a function correct. Second thing, there's increment, decrement. These already have it built in, I think. Those work correctly, I believe. So if we were to play this now, we would see a perfect, fully polished, fully featured role-playing video game created before our eyes. And that's still crusty. I don't know what to tell you, kids. Oh, something's going wrong. Oh, because there's no limit on how fast you can mash the button, right? Bro, I don't want to say I'm a genius, but it's getting close. It's getting very close. It doesn't animate correctly, but it does work correctly. So we want to duplicate this in its entirety except for that. I'm going to copy it. We want to paste it. Add custom event. This is going to be rotate menu ACW. Finish rotate ACW. Increment, and the animation is going to be rotate. It's going to be lower. And then in the player character, we can rotate ACW, pressed. We missed something, huh? What did we miss? No idea. That should work. That should absolutely work. There shouldn't be any weird glitchiness going on. It works both ways. Ah, because we don't animate. That can't. No, that can't be it. What the hell? Show me again what's happening. Show me again what is happening. So nothing happens when you scroll one way. When you scroll the other way, it's leaving one. Well, this is fun. This is unbelievably fun. It stays there. I get the feeling it's because we don't have an animation channel for the very bottom and the very top, so when we move it up, the tag gets stuck where it was meant to be, even though we have selected the option restore state. It restores widgets to their pre-animated state when the animation stops. So if theoretically we simply add an animation track for HBAS0, let's actually move him into a positioner so he's not being minus 86. Why not? And clockwise we need AS00. HBAS00. HBAS00 transform, translation. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't have mattered, but because maybe we're not selecting specifically That now works correctly, yeah. Yeah, I guess because we're not animating one of them on the other stroke, it's not doing anything, something, it's not reset. I don't know why. Surely it should reset on its own animation cycle where it has been animated and not have to reset in the other animation cycle. It is what it is, though, I'm afraid. Yeah, that works. An infinite cycling, scrolling, fillable, extendable, expansible, circular animated nightmare nugget of a menu. I know it's only 7 p.m. I know I've only been live for, according to Twitch, an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you, Twitch, for disconnecting me today. That's almost 4 hours, actually. 3 hours 55 recorded, so that's more than 4 hours, maybe even 5 hours of stream. So I'm gonna call it here. I'm getting a little bit hungry, so I'm gonna go eat some food, maybe get some drink. And I encourage you all to do the same. Yeah. So, thank you everyone for coming and watch the live video. If you came and watched the live video, thank you, Black Void Titan, for the raid. Very much appreciated. Every time, everyone go check out Black Void Titan. BlackVoidTytan on Twitch. Very cool Unreal game dev. Very cool laddie. Making a cool platformer game with cool spooky enemies. Thank you for coming and watch the video on demand. If you came and watch the video on demand, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.